What is up, everybody? This is Rain. Welcome back to another video on my channel. This is the 26th installment of my monthly Talking with This Rain series, where I sit here and talk to you guys about stuff that's going on in my life, stuff that's going on in my YouTube channel, and everything else in between, right? So you're probably not going to be too interested in these because this is basically an audio journal for me, you know? So if you're not interested in these, that's totally fine. You can click out. In the background here, you're probably going to see either Black Ops 2 footage or Death Stranding footage. I'll probably put the Black Ops 2 one first because it was fun going back to that game, man. I haven't played that game since like 2013, and going back and playing it again, it unlocked a lot of memories for me. So it was really fun to go back to play Black Ops 2, even if it was against bots. Like, I haven't even noticed it like back then, but the bots in Black Ops 2 are actually pretty good. Like, they actually make playing a little bit harder. So you're gonna see some Black Ops 2 footage in the background here, as well as Death Stranding later on. All right. So start off with my YouTube channel, and the previous month has been very, very productive compared to my previous months, and it's surprising considering how busy I've been with schoolwork and how many videos I've put out in the last month. So it's very surprising. But I posted 3 videos since the last Talking with This Rain. I posted a Ranch Simulator video, a GeoGuessr video, and a Phasmophobia video. I have a couple of videos on standby as well right now. I have another GeoGuessr video on standby, and I have a Cooking Simulator video that I haven't edited yet. And I'm not sure if I'm going to post that one because there wasn't really anything funny or interesting that happened in that one. But the Ranch Simulator one was going to be a series that I was going to make, right? Like every other week I would post a Ranch Simulator video, right? But I really want to continue that series, but the problem with it is that it's really difficult to start playing that game, right? Because for some reason it's like really sensitive to me alt-tabbing. And even when I start the game, like when I get the game started and all that shit, sometimes it would freeze up my computer completely, and it would require a restart. And that's when the game will start playing properly. That's the first problem. Second problem is the alt-tabbing one, right? You need, because I use Bandicam as a video recording software, and if I open Bandicam before Ranch Simulator does not get recorded. So I need to open Ranch Simulator first and then Bandicam. But the problem with that is, in order to open Bandicam after Ranch Simulator, I need to alt-tab out of Ranch Simulator. And if I alt-tab for more than 5 seconds, the game crashes. So it makes recording this shit so much fucking harder. The crashes, like the massive computer crashes, and the application crashes. So I really want to record more, but I honestly don't know what the fuck to do, because the game just keeps fucking doing that shit, and it makes like I just completely lose motivation to record that game. So I don't know about that. Maybe I'll find some workaround. Maybe I'll be motivated enough to go through all that shit again. But just going through all that shit just to record like a 10-minute video, it just does not seem worth it, right? Because that process, like for example, like when you start playing it and the game crashes, you sometimes lose like 15 minutes of progress, 10-15 minutes of progress on that one. And yeah, those crashes aren't even consistent. Sometimes they don't crash, and other times they do. It's like 50-50, so it makes recording Ranch Simulator really fucking hard. So I might be staying away from that game, at least until the devs do something about it, because I'm sure I'm not the only one having these problems. GeoGuessr video, really happy with that one. For some reason my GeoGuessr videos are doing relatively better than my other videos, so I'm definitely going to be comparing recording those videos more, because I actually like doing those. I've gotten a little bit better since I first started. So then again, I might be playing on easier maps, maybe that's why, but I really like recording them, right? I like flexing what little geography knowledge I have. So, yeah. And a Phasmophobia video. Not really doing that well, but that's expected. It's Phasmophobia. A lot of people and their grandmothers have created Phasmophobia videos, so it's totally understandable. And it's not the most entertaining video as well, I understand. So, I don't know, I might need to amend how I record these videos, because my Phasmophobia videos just aren't great. I'm not gonna lie, I admit it, they're not great. Because for the most part, I tend to err on the side of caution, right? Like, I take a lot of sanity pills, meaning I get lesser interactions, meaning I get lesser ghost hunts. So, yeah, you're just me being a pussy in the game. Oh my god, I need to put my phone on silent. Vibrate. But, just me being a pussy in that game, it makes the game boring, and I understand. Alright, hold on, I'm gonna do a sidebar real quick. Alright, so later on in this video, I'm gonna be putting a kind of big, not really that big, but kind of big guitar section, because I haven't posted a guitar Talking Over This Rain video in, 4 months now? Yeah, the last guitar video I've ever posted, like guitar Talking Over This Rain video I've posted was 5 months ago, so that's a long time without guitar. So I'm gonna be adding a guitar section later on. I'll probably mark it, I'll put a timestamp. Alright, now go back. So that's it with YouTube channel. Nothing really interesting. I like doing YouTube stuff. I like playing video games and editing them. It's fun. But that's it with the YouTube channel, right? Nothing a lot going on, but I was very surprised that I put more videos out this month compared to last month, considering my university workload. Okay, next thing, right? Let's talk about real life stuff, right? Okay, so on the previous Talking Over This Rain video, I told you guys how I had COVID back at March, at the beginning of March, I think, or the end of February. I'm not sure now, but it's around March. I think beginning of March. I had COVID, and it put me out of commission for like, I don't know, 1 to 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks actually. I was really badly sick for like 3 days, 4 days, but then after that I just had a cough, and that cough disappeared probably 2 weeks after I got COVID. But but then I had another relapse, right? So I had like, I don't know, a week or two without a cough, without any symptoms that I had from COVID. But then after that, the cough came back again. Like, it was fucking bad, dude. I had a really bad cough, and that's lasted more than a month now. I still kind of have it. Last week it was kind of bad, but the week before that it was really bad. Last week it was kind of bad, but it was kind of going away, but it was still there. I was still taking lozenges, and sometime at the end of last week it started getting better, and my cough started disappearing. I still cough sometimes, when I strain myself too much, like even when I'm studying, right? Like, I'm outside studying, straining myself a little bit, I start coughing a little bit. And also when I'm exercising. But I haven't been exercising for over a month now, dude. Just because of this cough, it's made cardio so much harder for me. So I've been out of commission on that end. But I'm getting back to it. A couple of days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, I started going back on a treadmill, and yesterday I started lifting again. And nothing bad, my cough hasn't come back in full force like it did a couple of weeks or a month ago, and it's been great. It feels like shit not exercising, dude. So it's great to come back to it. That's it with COVID. I hope it doesn't come back anymore, because I fucking hate coughing and shit. I hate feeling like shit, feeling sick. It's when you're sick that you feel like you feel like you wasted the time you weren't sick. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why the fuck I'm saying it like it's some profound thought. Obviously, right? Obviously you're gonna miss when you're not sick. When you're sick. Okay. School. Or I had to stop there. This is a few hours later after that previous part. But as I was saying, with my previous talking point, school has been pretty, it's been pretty relatively easier. Not easy, but relatively easier than last month. Last month I was fucking miserable because of finance. But this month has been a little bit easier, and a big part of that has been, me having a textbook, because for some reason, at the start of this semester, I came into my finance unit thinking that I can pass it by just doing the lectures by themselves, and that wasn't working, so I bought the textbook. And, having the textbook on hand, when I'm doing quizzes and doing assessments, it's actually been very helpful because it allows me to see the concepts that have not been otherwise covered in class, so it's kind of helped me gain peace of mind, right? Because I can look this up on Google, right? I can look up net present value, if that's even what the fuck it's called, net present value online, and it's got a bunch of all these different ways in which you could calculate it, but having it on a textbook and having it be covered in multiple available ways on a textbook has really helped me. So finance is still pretty fucking annoying. I kind of got pissed off like a week or two ago because I did all this shit, all this work. I understood the concept pretty well, and then I did the quiz and I got like fucking 3 out of 20 points, 5 out of 20 points. It was fucking horrible. But I kind of understand it a little bit. I still need a little bit of a guiding hand, right? But it's manageable. I think I'll be able. I'm just trying to pass it at this point. I'm not even gonna try to go for really high scores for this finance unit. I'm just trying to make that passing grade and get the fuck out of it because I fucking hate finance. I only have to do 1 to 2 for this master's degree. So this is the one, and the other one isn't necessarily finance. It's more of an economics class, but it deals with similar subjects as this one. But after this one, I don't have to do any more, confusing, stupid finance shit. And I can focus more on accounting, which I'm sure still includes finance, but I like accounting better than finance. Excuse me. Speaking of accounting, I did my assessment for accounting, and it was a massive fucking assessment, dude. I came in thinking it was going to be identical to the accounting course I took previous semester, and my god, was I wrong. The previous accounting course I took was an optional course, and this one is a compulsory course. And that optional course, I'm noticing, was way easier than this one. Because this one, I wouldn't say way easier, but it's more tedious, I would say. Because in the previous one, we only had to put in the figures into an accounting software, right? And we had to make sure that the trial balances and all that shit, and then we were done. But this one, we had to do double the work. We had not only did we need to put in the figures into an accounting software, we also had to make a completely new company file in that software. And not only did we have to do that, we also had to transfer that information to Excel. And my god, dude, the amount of cross-referencing I needed to do and the amount of fucking errors that I managed to find out just by doing those two, it's actually really helped me have a better grasp in accounting. Just being able to see how accounting software is and doing it manually in Excel, it's helped me a lot in terms of grasping the concept of financial accounting. And that was kind of fun, albeit a little bit tedious. That one took a lot of fucking effort. Doing that assessment took a lot of effort, but it wasn't to the point of being frustrating, unlike my finance course. That one was fucking tedious, but I understood every single aspect of what I was doing, as opposed to this finance course where I still have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just trying to rote learn right now, right? Just getting all the concepts into my head so that by the time the exam comes, I got it all there. And after that, I'll just fucking forget it. I don't know. But I'm just trying to fucking pass this course, dude. I don't even give a shit about getting good grades. That's it with my accounting shit, right? It's alright. I have another unit that's really kind of easy. It's a business and corporations law one, and that one is fucking easy, right? I did like 3-4 years of a justice degree, and although this one is more law than justice, it's still kind of easy because it touches on similar aspects, and I had to go back to some stuff that I learned back in high school, legal studies and all that shit, tort law and all that shit. But I can't wait to do more accounting shit. I can't wait. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm being sarcastic right now, you know, because I know for a fact this is gonna get so much harder. But the fact that I got somewhat of a grasp with basic accounting concepts, the fact that I have some knowledge about basic accounting concepts, and you know, it's kind of made me a little bit more confident and a little bit enthusiastic about the future. Although, you know, I know it's gonna get way worse, arguably worse than this finance subject. And you know, but all I can do is just stick with it. You know, because what the fuck else am I gonna do? You know, as I said in the previous Talking with This Rain video, what am I gonna do? Right? You know, I have a criminology degree that's not paying dividends. And you know, this one I already have an internship at the end of the year, and you know, I'm kind of excited to do that and kind of not excited. You know, it'd be great because this one's towards the end of the year, so I'm guessing that they're gonna be inviting all the interns to fucking Christmas parties and all that end of year bullshit. And I fucking hate those, man. I hate those. It's one of the main reasons why I quit that one admin job I had, is because it was, you know, all that shit that you had to do outside of work. You know, like, I'm not here to be friends with people. I'm here to fucking get paid and get experience, right? So I don't know. But you know, I'm just gonna stick with it, right? It's good networking. At least with this one, it's actually related. Like, this internship at the end of the year, it's gonna be actually related to my shit, as opposed to fucking criminology and doing an admin job, where the correlation between the two was very minimal, and it made me feel like that job actually pushed me to getting the fuck out of criminology. Like, if I wasn't already at the last year of my degree after that job, I don't know, I'm not making sense here. If I wasn't already in the last year of my degree when I started that job, I would have fucking quit. But I was already, you know, in the final stretches of my criminology degree, and I was like, you know, I've already spent 2 to 3 years doing this shit, I might as well finish it, right? But that job was one of the major parts as to why I decided that I didn't want to continue with criminology and instead go on accounting. Because, I don't know, you know, just doing all that work and having it not pay off, right? Like, studying all that shit and it not paying off was kind of demoralizing, right? It's kind of demoralizing, like, doing all that job. I mean, I don't want to sound entitled, right? I mean, sure, everybody has to go through some shit, but the work that I'm doing, having the work I'm doing not be related to you know, my I don't want to say expertise, but my field, it was kind of demoralizing. But I guess, you know, that's the way it is. But at that point in time, that's the way I felt, and hopefully that's not the way I'm gonna feel after this degree. But you know, this is my last fucking degree, at least for the next 10 to 20 years, dude. Alright, so after this master's program, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna go straight to fucking work. You know, whether or not I get into an accounting job, you know, because goddamn, I hate studying. Right, just getting all frustrated with this finance shit has made me realize that I hate studying. You know, I fucking hate studying, so I can't wait to get this shit over and done with. If I pass finance, I have 1.5 years left in this. Technically 1 year, but since I'm doing 3 units per semester, 1.5. So yeah, that's it with my accounting stuff. I always rant so long about this, and it's kind of stretching my stuff. I'm trying to keep this shorter because I'm going to put a Rimworld Tour after this one as well. So, alright, next talking point. Guitar, alright, I'm going to put a guitar section after this, right? So it's going to be talking parts, guitar, and then concluding talking part, and then Rimworld Tour, right? Alright, guitar, I've been learning. Hey, you know what? I learned quite a few songs since the last period. I learned Man on the Side by John Mayer. That one's a little bit of a deep cut because it's only like the only available recording of that song on Spotify is a live recording, and I don't think, yeah, Man on the Side, but I haven't fully gotten it down yet because the video I'm watching about it is from Music is Win, and his lesson about that is a little bit confusing because when you try to compare the stuff that he's teaching on that video with the actual song, it's a little bit weird. So it's kind of making it hard to discern discern how this song should sound like, you know. Another one is Like a Rolling Stone, as played by John Mayer. And that one's a little bit tougher. It's kind of made my playing with a pick better, but not a whole lot better. But, you know, last month I could barely play with a fucking pick. Barely. I could barely play with a pick. But now it's kind of, I kind of got it down pat. I still need more practice. Way more practice. But I can, you know, hit the bottom strings a lot more accurate now, as opposed to previous month where I could barely, yeah. So Like a Rolling Stone, I don't know if I'm going to learn the whole song. I mean, it's pretty easy, you know, like the chords. But when you're trying to emulate John Mayer's version of that song, it's difficult. But I'm trying to learn the intro part, because that intro part sounds really good. And, you know, I want to be able to play like that. Because most of the songs I've been trying to learn have been pretty slower paced, and this one's a little bit more faster. And I'm trying to learn how to play faster, and this one has been quite a challenge. I don't know, did I include that in one of my recordings? Because I may have. And I don't know if I'll put that on here. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna put it on here. It's embarrassing. But okay, right. Guitar. That's really it. I'm trying to get more into guitar theory. Trying to get more into learning modes and shit, because I feel like my playing is either my expectations have really went up, or my playing has really regressed on account of me not learning too many songs in the last few months or so. So I'm trying to get more into learning, you know, what makes something sound a particular way, because previously I just fucking played with pentatonics, right? I've noticed that, like, I just go up and down a pentatonic, and it's kind of and going back to the same fucking licks every single time. And it's kind of, I'm getting kind of tired of it, and I'm trying to learn more on what notes I should play, right? Like, for particular situations, right? Because, yeah. And I honestly still don't know how the fuck to do that. You know, for me, my go-to shit when soloing is, you know, bending that, you know, bending the string on that first position, right? Bending the G string on the first position. And yeah, that's my go-to. It sounds nice, but after a while it gets really tedious. I mean, it really gets boring and horrible to hear. So yeah, I'm trying to learn more about actually putting, I don't know what word I'm trying to think of actually content, I don't know. Putting some, I don't want to say feel, that's a little bit too cliche, but I guess feel, or just making it sound good. You know, I just fucking hate the way I play sometimes. I record myself play sometimes, and it pisses me off. Yeah. And I think that's it with guitar shit. Nothing really major. With video games, I'm playing Town of Salem, and that game is good, but I've been getting so much Mafia rolls lately, and I'm kind of getting a little bit annoyed playing Mafia. One day, like, I think a couple of days ago, I played Town of Salem, and I got like 2 to 3 Mafia rolls. 2 to 3 Mafia rolls consecutively, like one after another, and it was fucking getting me pissed off. I was like, one last game. You know, I can't end my gaming session while playing Mafia, right? I was like, I gotta get a better roll than this, and they just kept giving me Mafia rolls, and it's fucking annoying. I feel like I'm saying rolls wrong. Rolls? I don't know. Another game I've been playing is Death Stranding, which you're probably seeing right now. I don't know. And that game is alright. I'm kind of deeper into it than my first playthrough back in the PS4. And it's cool. I wouldn't say it's the greatest game of all time. I really hate how the important story shit is confined to you know, those BT events. I really hate that. Like, by BT events, I mean the ones where, you know, Sam gets transported to some other place without spoiling it too much. I hate how most of the story shit is happening on some other plane as opposed to where the delivering stuff is happening. I hate that. I wish they would add more variety to it. But I actually like the whole route planning part of the game. I like when you run into, like, at the beginning of the game, when you run into those bad people, those, I forgot what they're called, but they're the bad people. They're still people. They're like raiders. When you run into those people, in the beginning of the game, it was pretty light. But once you get further into the game, it actually gets really fun, that part, because like, it actually makes you think on your toes sometimes, right? Like, for example, like when you get pinged and they start coming for you and those trucks start coming, it's fucking scary, dude. And you have no other choice but to run or fight. And the fact that the map is so detailed and there's so many nuance to every single portion of the map, it's really interesting getting in chases against those raider people. I forget what they're called. Raiders. I forgot what they're called. They're called something. I'm blanking out on their name. But it's really fun. Just the maps, the attention to detail on the natural areas of the map compared with those chases. It's really interesting. Like, for example, like I had this one situation where I was on a motorcycle, right? And this was on the second part of the game, or the part after the first part of the game, if you know what I'm talking about. And there were these ravines, right, east of or north, I think, of this location. And I was supposed to deliver these items. And I was in a motorcycle, just wondering my business. And then I guess I didn't see the ravine, and I fell straight into it. It was like, I don't even know how fucking tall it is. It was like 10, 15 foot drop, probably even more. And my motorcycle was fucked. Right, I got pinged. I think that's why I think that's why I was in such a rush. Why I was so careless. So I was running away, and I fell into this 20-foot drop ravine, and all my shit was all scattered. Like, all my cargo was scattered. My motorcycle was fucked, and I had to pick up my stuff, reorganize it, make sure it was at maximum efficiency. And I had to find a way out of that ravine, and it was fucking terrifying, dude. Just being hunted by those people while you're in a ravine, it was fucking scary. And I haven't played that game in a week, and I'm probably gonna go play it again tonight. What else? Rimworld, I'll get into that later. A lot of stuff happened in Rimworld. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened, and I'm not very happy. Yeah. I'm kind of happy. I've kind of moved past it, but there were a lot of traumatic stuff that happened in Rimworld for my pawns. A lot of traumatic stuff. I'm probably overselling it, but it was traumatic. I don't know about it being really traumatic, but it was traumatic for some of them, some of the pawns. And Black Ops 2, again, really fun. I like playing against the bots. They're way more challenging than I thought they were going to be. And it's nice getting back and equipping the loadouts that you once equipped when I was 13. I would equip usually the PDW. My go-to gun was actually a Scar, right? Because I played Call of Duty games before. Like excuse me, my voice is cracked. But I played Call of Duty games before Black Ops 2. I played Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. My parents and I borrowed it from this video store. That was fun. You borrowed it for a week, I think, for like $15. But I played Modern Warfare games before, and they had the Scar L and the Scar H. So back then, when I was 13, my go-to gun was the Scar. But I think you unlocked that way later on. So my first gun was actually an MTAR 21, because that was the only good gun, I guess, at that level. At least the most suitable gun for me at that level. But then, I went online and started looking at best loadouts, Black Ops 2, and all these people were recommending the submachine guns, and I recommended the MSMC. But, me being a low level at the time, I could only afford a PDW, and so I would equip the PDW, and then I would use the MSMC, and, just being able to, just equipping those guns again was really fun. I don't know if it was included on the Black Ops 2 clip, but I would be using Ballista on this clip, I think, because people on YouTube and the internet recommended the DSR-50. I think that's the name of the sniper rifle. That's the best sniper rifle in Call of Duty, I think. A lot of people recommended DSR-50 because it had good damage. And, I wanted to quick scope. And I tried using the DSR-50 back then, and I was just not good with it. But, the Ballista, for some reason, I took a liking to that. Just because of how compact it was. I liked using the Ballista, and so even to this day, I think I still prefer the Ballista over the DSR-50, just because of how compact it looks, right? It looks like, it doesn't look as ugly as the DSR-50, and so, yeah. Black Ops 2, and in terms of TV shows and all that shit, I've been watching The Walking Dead. I watched all the way from the start, and I'm now in Season 9. I'm just starting Season 9 now. Man, Season 7 to Season 8 of The Walking Dead is such a slog to get through, dude. For some reason, IMDb rates Season 7 higher than Season 8, but I actually like Season 8 of The Walking Dead better than Season 7. Because in Season 7, everybody was all scattered. Rick was still in... Okay. Spoiler alert, alright? Spoiler alert. Right? Probably skip about a minute after this if you're still watching. But in Season 7, everybody was all scattered. Rick was still broken. And everybody was just not working towards a singular goal. But Season 8 was so much better, just because everybody was kind of together, and everybody was working towards a singular, coherent goal. And I like Season 8 better than Season 7. And I think IMDb's fucked that rating up. I think the reason why the ratings for those episodes were so skewed is because, coming out of Season 6, which is a really good season, many of the people who rated The Walking Dead were probably expecting Season 7 to be great, which is why they probably had high expectations of Season 7, hence higher ratings for Season 7. And I'm not going to dispute them. There were some good parts of Season 7, but it was worse. I would say some parts of Season 7 were worse than Season 8. And, after Season 7 concludes, a lot of people start reflecting and were like, oh wow, this season was terrible. And so, when Season 8 comes up, all the reviewers maybe came in with a preconceived notion that this show is terrible, hence why they started rating the episodes lower. And I think that's why Season 8's rank lower than Season 7. And I'm not going to say that Season 8 was a great season. There were some flaws with it, but in my own opinion, Season 8 was a lot better than Season 7. Not the greatest, but it was better than Season 7. There were some good parts with it. So, yeah, there were a lot of good parts with Season 8 than Season 7, in my opinion. But now I'm up in Season 9, and I'm just starting it now. I just finished Season 9, Episode 1, and it's... it feels new, right? It feels way newer than the previous seasons, and I really like that. But I know what's gonna happen. I already watched The Walking Dead. I know what's about to happen, and I really don't want what's about to happen, because I really like that character. He or she has got to be my most favorite. You know what? He and she are my favorite characters in The Walking Dead. Okay, spoiler again. Alright, skip 30 seconds. If I were to rank Walking Dead characters, my top 5 characters, I would probably have to say number 1, okay, number 5? Oh, jeez. Okay, number 5 would have to be, I would have to say Herschel. Old Herschel, not young Herschel, old Herschel. Number 4, Okay, I'm gonna go back on number 4 because number 4 is pretty important. But number 3, I would have to say Glenn. Number 3 is Michonne. Number 2 is Glenn. Number 1 is Rick Grimes, of course. Number 4, I'm kind of torn up with number 4. I don't know whether to choose, Negan or to choose Shane. It has to be an antagonist for this one, because there were some good antagonists in The Walking Dead. Man, I can't believe Daryl is not on here. But with the season that we just had, I don't think Daryl is going to be on here. Maybe if I finish this, Daryl's going to be on here. Maybe Daryl will replace Herschel, because I can remember Daryl playing a pretty big factor on the later seasons of The Walking Dead, and I can't wait to see him, go off a little bit. But right now my number 5 is Herschel Herschel slash Daryl, right? Number 4, probably Dwight, actually. I like Dwight. I like Dwight more than Negan, actually. Yeah. Right, number 5, Herschel and Daryl. Herschel or Daryl. Number 4, Dwight. Number 3, Michonne. Number 2, Glenn. Number 1, Rick. And now that I'm reading that out loud, none of those people are even on The Walking Dead anymore, except for Daryl. Okay, spoiler alert again. Oh my god. There's no point. I've already said a lot of fucking spoilers. Rick died. Well, he didn't died, but Rick got taken by the not Commonwealth, but the I forgot what they were called. The CRM, right? That's what they're called, right? Glenn got killed by Negan. Michonne went after Rick. Dwight is over in Fear the Walking Dead. I actually forgot what happened to him. I already not really finished the recent season of Fear the Walking Dead, but I finished the previous season of Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know, I forget what happened to Dwight, but I think he's still alive. So he's not in The Walking Dead, but he's in Fear the Walking Dead. So he's technically not in The Walking Dead. What the fuck? Walking Dead. And number 5, Herschel, died. He got killed by the governor. And Daryl is the only one in that list who's still on here. That's kind of, jeez, that's kind of sad, Number 6, by the way, is Carl. All right, I don't hate Carl, but he's just not in top 5 for me. Jeez, it's a good thing they're ending it though, because damn, I think they've ran out of stuff to tell. But a part of me wants to like the new spin-offs that they're making, but I don't know, it feels like they're overstretching themselves a little bit. Star Wars makes a lot of sense, right? Star Wars making a bunch of these little shows, Mandalorian, Kenobi, what the fuck's that one called? Book of Boba Fett and all that shit. It makes sense. That's my dog in the background, by the way. It makes sense because it's a massive universe and you can tell a lot of stories in that universe. But The Walking Dead, you can only tell so much stories. And the fact that so many characters are getting this many spin-offs is kind of... I'm kind of a little bit on the negative side on that one. If it was a couple, right? If it was like the Rick Grimes movies, if that's even coming out, and some other thing and another one, then it makes sense. But this many characters branching off from each other, because the only reason, I think, in my own opinion, that some of these characters were considered quote-unquote good was because of their interaction with the overall group, in my opinion. Right? The only reason why most of these characters work were because they were connected in some way to the original group. But with them branching off, I don't know. But I'm not gonna judge a book by its cover. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe. But I'm just saying I'm not very stoked about it. But I'll still watch it. I'll still watch every single spin-off that they release. I'll still watch it. What the fuck else am I gonna do? There's no Walking Dead stuff going on. Except for Fear the Walking Dead. I started season, I think, 7, the most recent season, and I'm not really stoked about that. Just the season 4, I think, season 4 and season 5 has left a really bad taste in my mouth. I can't believe I sat through that season. I can't, yeah. Season 6 was alright. Fear the Walking Dead season 6 was alright, but season 7, maybe I just need to be in a certain mood to like it. Maybe. Alright. And I've been watching some a lot of KOR Speedy lately, you know, and especially his homies SMP Minecraft stuff. It's really nice seeing him and the crew interact with each other as well as a bunch of other streamers. It's very nice. You know, it's kind of gotten me back into watching a lot of KOR Speedy. Like, I think 2-3 months ago, I barely watched any KOR Speedy. I watched a little bit, but not a lot. But now I'm kind of watching every single one of his videos, even his Among Us videos, and I barely know what the fuck is happening in those Among Us videos, but I still watch it. You know, I've watched so many Among Us videos, those Among Us modded videos, and I still have no idea what's going on. I have a general idea, but still have no idea what's going on. Okay, my dog's walking around in the background. Alright, let's get to the guitar part, alright? Okay, what should I start with? You know what? Okay, let's start with a classic, right? Love is a Verb by John Mayer, right? I've already played this before, but this one's with the right pedals and shit, right? Love is a Verb. Alright, I cut that one a little bit short because it was, I mean, I messed up a lot. So I'm probably going to cut some of these a little bit shorter because some of it is just me playing, you know, the chords for the song, and I understand that can be a little bit boring for some of y'all. Alright, so next one is called Shot in the Dark, again by John Mayer. Most of these are going to be John Mayer songs. I mean, all of these are going to be John Mayer songs, except for one, but I guess you can kind of call this other one a John Mayer song as well, but it's not the one we're playing right now, right? This one is called Shot in the Dark from John Mayer's new Sob Rock album, right? I'm going to play the intro a little bit, and we'll move on, alright? Alright, that was Shot in the Dark. Next one is gonna be Man on the Side. This one I just learned, right? And I don't think I played most of the song. I just played like the intro riff twice, I think, with this one, right? Man on the Side. It's a good sounding song, you know, but I still don't know how the fuck to play it. Right, here it is. Alright, this next one is Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, and it includes the intro. And I think this is the best I can get it, honestly. I kind of fucked up a little bit when it comes to, I forget what that part is called, bridge? I don't know. Is that the bridge? No, I don't think that's the bridge, but it's something. But I kind of fucked up a little bit towards the end. But for the most part, it sounds alright. I like the tone that I achieved with this one. I think this is my best tone for now. You know, I kind of like this tone. It's kind of a little bit drivey. You know, you can feel that there's a little bit of overdrive, but not too much. So it feels nice. Right, here it is. you can see, like, I put, like, because sometimes that song can get a little bit boring, so I put some of the melody of the vocals in there, and it makes the song, I don't know, a bit more interesting to play as opposed to, just playing the chords. Because I've been playing that song for, a year now, and yeah, it can kind of get a little bit boring. I really like that song, but it can get a bit boring to play it sometimes. But next one is Friends, Lovers, or Nothing. I learned this one last year around September, October 2021. And I sometimes neglect it, and sometimes I forget the chords, but I always come back to it, It's a good song. Alright, here it is. Alright, next one is Bold as Love, but this one is going to be in E standard tuning, so it's, if you listen to, the original recordings of Bold as Love, it's usually in dropped half a step down. But this one's in E standard, and, my fingers are fucking fat, dude. Playing this song, I noticed that my fingers are fat, and I need to learn how to properly place them, which is probably the most likely solution, or I just have fat fingers. But, I sometimes fuck up a little bit. Like, I mute other strings when I try to do the hammer-ons. And, yeah. But, this one's good. Like, this one's kind of taught me, because I've been learning the last month how to hide the pick under your fingers and then switch to it, while you're still playing. And I've kind of gotten that down path, Just hiding the pick under my middle finger and then bring it back up and then hiding it. So when you hear the first, I don't know what you call it, stab, the bank, I use the pick for that one. The break after that one, that's the time I use to hide the pick under my finger, so you can hear it. You can hear it properly. You'll notice that there are different sounds, between playing with your fingers and playing with my pick. All right, here it is. Alright, hope you like that one. That one's kind of a hard song a little bit. It's a Hendrix song. It's gonna be a bit harder, I still need to learn most of that song, but I think I got it a little bit down path. I like the part where it completely mutes, like where it goes boom boom. I like that part. It feels nice playing that part on a guitar. Alright, this next one is a really, really deep cut. At least not until the last month, and it's called Over and Over by John Mayer. And John Mayer on the Wong Notes podcast played a really, really cool solo for this one. It's not released yet, but he's played it before, and I really want him to release it, in the modern John Mayer era. And the solo he played on the Wong Notes podcast really, it really grabbed me, dude. It felt fucking awesome hearing that, and I just had to learn it. And this has to be the first solo I ever learned by ear, this Over and Over song. And it's not really that difficult, right? You can easily discern what notes he's playing and what shapes he's playing in, so it's very nice. So this is the very first song I've ever learned by ear, and I'm really glad it's this song. Alright, here it is, last one, Over and Over. Alright, there you go. I kind of messed up a little. I don't know about messed up. I just haven't learned most of the end part, because that part in the end is a little bit complex on the actual recording. So I just, played a little bit over it, Okay, that's it. That's the end of the guitar portion. I need to learn more how to play with the pick, but learning Like a Rolling Stone by John Mayer has helped me a little bit, but I still need way more work on it. But that's it, right? Okay. The next portion is going to be the Rimworld Tour, and I'm going to be talking about the stuff that's happened in that world, because a lot of stuff has happened, and it's a lot of stuff that we need to cover. A lot of stuff. Right, I'll take you over to Rimworld me. Alright, hope you enjoyed this. Alright, welcome back everybody to my Rimworld world. Right, I don't think anything has changed in terms of fortification. Actually, a lot has changed in terms of fortifications, but in terms of the layout of the whole base, it's been pretty much the same. I've added a new mod, and it's this tree mod. I forget what it's called. I don't want to say the name if it's the wrong person, but it's CMT, I think. CMT mod. It's one of the most popular tree mods in the last 3 or so months. And as you can see, like the trees look way better now. They used to just be tiny like these trees, but now they're way luscious, right? They fill the map a lot more, and it makes the place a lot better. When I first added it, this used to be so barren, but now that a year has gone by since I added it, God, that's a weird word for me. It's been a lot better. Like it feels like there's a lush forest over here, except for this part. But flash storm happened and it burned down most of the trees in this area, so yeah. Another mod that I added was this, where pawns can now upgrade their shooting skills by training over here. Only problem with this shooting area, however, is that sometimes the pawns will miss and they will hit the walls behind these targets, and Roach always has to come over there and repair the walls every single time, but it's nothing too unmanageable, Another mod I don't think I'm going to be able to... Oh, yeah, okay. Another mod I added is the animations. See? Everybody has animations now. Very cool, and everybody has hands. Hold on. Roach, let me see your hands. See, he has hands, and he's actually moving when he's grafted. It makes him look a little bit more human to me. Very nice. And I also added embrasures, whatever the fuck you call them. Embrasures. See? Bottom left, embrasure. And I marked these out. I put these on the outer walls so that I can shoot out. And I marked them with these red lights. See, so it makes it easier to find where the embrasure is at. So for example, we're getting attacked by raiders over here, I'll see this. Oh, red light over here. So this means this is where the embrasure is, and everybody will go here. You know, people will go here, battle stations, start shooting at the invading enemies. And as you can see over here up in the farming area, I kind of didn't finish it off. I didn't completely enclose this area, because the problem with this area is that it's fucking massive, and it makes defending it so hard when raids come in. I had a raid, I don't know, about 6-7 months ago, and they spawned up here to the north side, and they immediately started attacking my walls, and they got past the first defense within minutes. And I wasn't able to defend it because, you know, most of my colonists are over here in the main area. And, you know, so I thought it would be pretty pointless to defend these walls over here, because we can't even get there, and it would just be a massive waste of resources, right? And so I brought the embrasure back here, you know, because sometimes they get in through these walls, and I can get my colonists to now, you know, somebody's attacking, they're getting through the walls, there's an embrasure over here, and they can just shoot down this hallway. Easy kills. I should probably put an LMG down, you know, two LMGs over here, so that when they do breach those walls, they can just fucking start spraying down this hallway. That would be cool, dude. I need to do that. Hold on, I'm actually going to do that now. That's a time commitment, you know. Maybe not now, later. Okay. I also have these turrets now. Very cool. It helps me protect these entrances a lot better when there are zombies coming in. If you're new and you didn't watch the previous Rimworld Tour, I have a zombie mod on. And as you can see, there was just a massive herd that came in through here, hence why there are blood stains everywhere. And these turrets have really helped me kind of wither the herds down to a little bit. You know, I kind of hate how the barrel durability is so wasteful, dude. Like, it's so inefficient, is what I meant to say. Literally one shot takes away 2 on the bottom here. See, there's like a bar, 40 out of 60. One shot, I think, takes out 2 of these points. And to replace the barrel, it costs 80 steel. And that's a lot of fucking steel. As you can see here, we only have 576 steel. That's still a lot of steel, but it's so, it makes me want to just uninstall it, you know, because it's so wasteful. I mean, I already uninstalled some, right? I have another one here that I have 3 in storage right now, because most of them are so useless sometimes. They're just a waste of resources, which is why I just put them on the 2 main entrances, which is the west entrance and the east entrance. Oh yeah, do you see this? I have a new pet now. His name is Trumbo, and he's a thrumbo. Right, that's the name of the species, thrumbo, but I named him Trumbo, and he is Chief's. He is Chief's pet. Training. You see, Master. Chief. If you don't remember, Chief, this is the guy. Alright, I had to pause there because something else came up. But Chief is, if you remember in the previous Talking with this Rain video, Chief is my main guy, right? He's the leader of this camp. And he also has pretty decent animal skills, I think. Yeah, he has 11 animal skills, so he's pretty decent at it. So he has 2 main pets. He has Warg Friendo, right? It's a warg, and basically in this game, warg is a mutated dog, basically, I think. And his other pet is the Thrumbo guy. This buddy over here. And this dude is fucking great, man. Trumbo is great in combat. You know, I think he absolutely makes up. Okay, we need to start planting hay grass because we're running out of hay grass, and Trumbo consumes a lot of hay grass on account of him being a massive. He's a big boy, man. He's a big boy, and you know he's pretty. I wouldn't say he's completely useless in peacetime, right? He hauls shit. He's actually helped rescue a lot of people. See how big this place is? When people like get downed and shit and more remote locations, Trumbo over here will rescue him. He's helped a lot of people, and he also hauls stuff that's been dropped, so he's pretty helpful on that end as well. But where his ultimate ultimate purpose is realized is during combat. And during combat, oh my god, Trumbo is a fucking monster, dude. Monster. Right? I tamed him last year. 2 years ago, a year or two ago in game time. And if we look at his stats, records, he's killed 2 humans. Oh, that's actually not a lot. I thought that would be more. But he's killed 2 humans, and those 2 humans were on one raid. And it happened over here. This blood is unrelated, right? These are zombie blood. But it was over here, you know. Trumbo was drafted, right? Chief was sent him out to attack people attacking us. And Trumbo just fucking went in there, taking in all the bullets. Trumbo probably took, I would say, 50 bullets before going down. 50 to 60 bullets before going down. He just tanked those motherfuckers, dude. Killed one, went to the other one, killed one, and then finally got shot down. And he nearly died, but somehow we saved him, you know? But, you know, Trumbo over here is he's not immune to death, right? He's 106 years old. I don't know how old that is in Trumbo years, but, you know, Trumbo over here isn't immune to death, right? He's gonna die at some point, but he's a good boy, man. You know, I like Trumbo over here. He's probably my most favorite pet. And I have dogs, right? I have dogs, and even Trumbo is still my favorite pet. See, we have dogs. Labra Buddy. This is Celia's dog, right? She likes him. And we also have another dog who is Edward and Stem's dog. Stem's dog, Pal, right? Another Labrador Retriever. All right, let's get to a story, right? Let's get to the interesting parts, right? Because I told you that there was an interesting story going on in Rimworld, or there was an interesting story that went on. Okay, so I don't know, 2 to 3 years ago in this game, we had. Oh, actually, let's see. Historical. It was called something. Is it hunting, secret, logging, Desperado Outpost? Yeah, I think it's this one. So this was 2 years ago. Right, 2 years ago we had this quest, Desperado Outpost, right? We were supposed to go to an outpost placed over somewhere around here. And we were supposed to take it out, right? At the time, 2 years ago, my most combat ready people were Chief, right? The main leader guy, Edward, and Roach, right? These were my 3 main people. And, you know, I took him out, made him armor up, and made him get out and attack that shit, right? And while they were traveling, a massive raid came in. It was by these people, by the Pact of Ratros, these fuckers. They came in, they were fucking everywhere, dude. They were like groups of 4 over here, and I think around 8 people that spawned here. And at the time we only had about 6 people, I think. You know, not including the people who just left. And one of those people were Sky, right? If you remember in the previous Rimworld Tour, Sky is Chief's wife, and as you can see, she's dead. And his daughter Aiko is also dead. Alright, that shooting is him practicing his shot. Her shooting is her practicing her shot, right? Don't worry about it. Sky was left over here with basically nobody else who was combat ready. Basically nobody else. At the time we had Celia, who is Chief's who's Chief's heir, right? Celia is Chief's. She's gonna take over the colony when Chief dies. And Celia over here, when she was 9, at the time she was around 15. At the time of the raid, she was around 15. But when she was 9, you know, Chief saw in her, you know, leadership potential, and he was like, "You're gonna be the future leader of this colony. And you need to understand what life is like out here." And so he, you know, we had one person raiding us, and Chief took her out there and made Celia beat that person to death. And in retrospect, I probably should have just maybe took her out here, made her watch, right? just so that she gets some. It's still fucked up, but it's a lot better than making her kill a person, right? But you know, that's what happened, right? Chief took her out here and told her that she needs to kill this person. And that's basically a battle hardened Celia, right? It hardened her. Right now her shooting skill is at 11. At the time of this raid, her shooting skill was at around 2 or 4. This raid's happening, and we were very outnumbered. Skye was taking the lead on this, right? She was the only remaining battle-ready person in this colony. And so, you know, she took herself and Barrera. If you remember, Barrera used to be my cook, used to be the colony's cook, and he's gone. As you can see on the top here, he's not anywhere to be found. Not anywhere here. He's also not in the graveyard, and there's a reason why he's not on the graveyard, right? We'll get into that later. Skye took out a combat party over here, right? Skye, Barrera, and Celia, right? She was very hesitant to take Celia with her, considering how she's her daughter, but she had no other choice, right? She had to defend this place or her other daughters are going to die. We had other people go in here. You know, we had our reserves who weren't very great at combat, but they could handle a gun. It was Stem and Shaw, right? They were over in this... Oh, Stem, Shaw, and Randall. Randall's getting old, man. But Stem, Shaw, and Randall were over here. They were our reserve forces, and they were just defending this hallway. Just in case somebody comes in, they can defend this building, right? Because our people who can't fight, Matt, Diana at the time, and 2 kids at the time. Oh, Meg, and another kid. I think it was Aiko. They were over here. They were in this place. And I turned this place into an emergency shelter. This used to be just a biosculpture pod area, but I turned it into an emergency shelter. Hence why there's a plasteel door over here. Because it's a good spot, right? It gives you many exits. Like, for example, you see enemies coming in through this doorway, you hear gunshots coming in, people dying. You take all the kids, and then you can evacuate them this way, right? You can evacuate them this way, out this exit, and you're outside, right? You're out. Or, you know, people coming in through this entrance, you can take the kids, go out here, go out this way, go out this door, go out this exit, or go out the long way, go out this hallway, and go out this exit. You know, it gives you a lot of exit strategies. So I'm turning this into a emergency room, and see, emergency room. That red area, that's where everybody goes. All the dogs who can't fight, all the animals who can't fight, and the kids and the people who can't fight go into that room. But during this raid, Stem and Shaw were defending this hallway. I think Randall was having a mental breakdown. I think she was supposed to be here, but she had a mental breakdown. So Stem and Shaw were the only remaining people who were defending this hallway. Our combat party saw an opportunity over here, right? They saw that this was the weakest part of the enemy's army, and so they came here. Skye killed like 2 to 3 people. Celia killed a person, I think, and Barrera killed a few. But Barrera got downed first. He was the first person to get downed. And then it was Celia, and then it was Skye. Right? Barrera was down somewhere around here. Skye got down somewhere here, and Celia got down somewhere here. And, you know, our combat party got downed. Everybody's down. There weren't anybody else protecting this area. So I decided, Stem, Shaw, our people need your help. And so they immediately went into work. Right? They exited out of this door and shot a person, right, killed him. And it triggered a retreat order for the enemy army. But the problem is, you know, they were going to kidnap. I had a mental breakdown. I had a blank. My mind. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. My mind went blank there. But it triggered a retreat order, right? We killed about 6-7 people at this time, right? So we took out more than half of their forces, and they ordered a retreat. But they were going to kidnap our pawns. Barrera was pretty safe. He was over here. There weren't any enemies near him. But over here we had a big issue. We had a breach in this wall, right? Which is why I decided to, you know, kind of shorten this defense area a little bit. They breach into this wall, and there were people inside these walls trying to get inside. At the time, the retreat order was enforced, was set out. I don't know what word I'm trying to say. And so, they came out of this wall. They decided they were going to kidnap Celia, who was somewhere here, and Sky. They were both bleeding out. Stem got here on time, dude. Stem, it was a good thing she picked up the sniper. At the time, she had very terrible combat skills. She had around 2 to 3 shooting skills, and now she has 12 shooting skills. So this raid has changed people a lot, dude. It's changed Stem, and it's changed Celia a lot, as well as Meg. But Stem here is a hero, man, and she's a fucking hero, right? She came out here. She saw that Sky was being taken, and their captors were heading north towards this exit. Celia was also being taken, and her captor was heading north as well towards this exit. And Sky was standing here, right here, and she had to make the decision, right? Do I kill the person who is taking somebody who was combat ready, right? Somebody who was capable of fighting, or do I take a kid, a child? And she went inside her head. She was like, "Oh, well, what do I do? What do I do?" But then she went into her decision, right? She said in her head, if Sky was here, if Sky was still alive right now, if Sky was here with me, she would want me to save her kid first before her. And so, Sky didn't have that much time, so she decided to take the shot, kill the person who was taking Celia, and she killed him. She saved Celia. She tried shooting the other person, but she just couldn't make it. They got out of her range, and Sky got kidnapped while she was bleeding. And off map, she bled out. She bled to death. And Chief, he was still out on a raid, and when he came home, he got hit with the news, and he fell into a massive depression, dude. Chief over here fell into a massive depression, and it was compounded by other events as well, because not long after this, Aiko, right, his daughter, and Sky's daughter as well, she was also affected by her mother being killed, and she wanted to be strong just like her mother and just like her sister Celia. And so she tried getting herself better, and I was like, okay, screw it, let her kill some zombies. And this was 6 months after. 6 months after this whole event, and everybody was still recuperating from what happened. And we had a zombie attack, and we had a fire. Right? This was during spring. This was during harvest season, so this was very important. We had a fire over here. I think a flash storm happened, and it hit one of these plants, and the fire was spreading fast. So most of our colonists, most of our pawns were out here trying to stop the fire. And we had Edward. Right, Edward, the toughest guy in this colony, Edward. He was the only person taking care of the breach that was happening here. There were zombies trying to get in, and Aiko somehow got outside of the walls, and now she was somewhere over here, and the zombies were starting to fill inside the walls, and Edward couldn't do anything to save her, right? He was stuck between the zombies and Aiko was escaping for most of the night, right? She ran here, she was being chased down here until over here happened, somewhere over here, right? This is like this is like, you get fucked here. Once you get trapped, you get trapped, because there's no exit, right? It's between this border and this wall, and Aiko got trapped. She tried fighting a zombie, but she killed a zombie. She's never killed anything before in her life, but she killed that zombie at the risk of her being bit. Alright, I'm back. But Meg found her over here, and she took her. They found out they were bit. She were bit in the torso, on her limbs and everything, dude. It was bad. There wasn't any point in amputating her legs or arms, because she was bit in areas where it would be bad to have it amputated and shit, right? Like in torsos and shit, and her head. So it was bad. She had about like 2-3 days to live. Chief and all his kids, Celia, Meg and Aiko over here. You know, they took one stroll out into the woods, you know, one last time, being family. You know, took one last stroll. It was fucking sad, dude, you know, just Chief taking his girls out for a walk. You know, they visited their mother, Sky, and then they came back up. You know, Randall over here cooked a lavish meal so that, you know, Aiko can have her final meal, and she ate it. You know, it was around 3 o'clock at night, and we had all the combat people of our colony. You know, we had Edward standing over here, and we had Roach standing by this doorway, and you know, and Chief standing by this door. And it was fucking sad, dude. Why is Strombo following me? Strombo, get out of here. And Randall came in, put Aiko under, and euthanized her. And, you know, so she doesn't turn. And Chief fucking broke down over here, and Edward was like, don't go in there. Let me take this. Go to sleep. And, you know, he took Aiko's body and burned her at the crematorium. It was fucking sad, dude. You know? You know, just Roach and Edward being there, it probably meant a lot for Chief, and that's why they have a bond. Except, you know, the game doesn't realize it for some fucking reason, you know? For some reason, in this game, apparently Chief doesn't like Edward, at least not a lot, and doesn't like Roach a lot, which doesn't make sense considering how they were there for him. You know, he's the leader of this crew, and they were standing by him. And for some reason, yeah, I don't know, it's dumb how the social system kind of works in this game, but yeah, it's dumb how the social system works, because Randall over here conducted the killing, not the killing, but the euthanasia. She conducted the euthanasia, right? She was doing a favor for Chief so that he never has to see his child like that again. Yeah, that he never has to see his child in that way. You know, as a zombie. And so, you know, Randall over here euthanized her, but for some reason, everybody in Chief's family hates her because, yeah, see, rival Delilah Randall killed my daughter. You know, it used to be really bad, but it's kind of getting a little bit better now. But for some reason, they don't like her because she killed his daughter, and you know, Celia over here really dislikes Randall because she killed her sister. But you know, I wish they would do something about that, because you know, euthanasia and murder are two very different things. And I hate how Randall over here is getting hatred from Chief and all his daughters because of what she did, when it's not really, you know, what happened. So it kind of sucks in that way. I mean, maybe I should have just let her turn, you know, and then maybe make somebody just kill her that way. But that doesn't seem, it just doesn't seem, you know, like in The Walking Dead, right? People would much rather get taken out while they're still alive, right? Like, you don't want to see your loved ones turn into that. I mean, I sure wouldn't, right? So it doesn't make sense why, yeah, maybe they should add that. You know, as a, I don't know, can I add that myself? I'm not very good. I don't even know how to make mods in this game, but I wish they would add that with this mod. Like the mod that I have right now, Zombieland, where if somebody's infected, then euthanasia does not equate to murder, right? But that's it with my Rimworld world. I don't think I have anything else of nope. Hope you enjoyed this, right? A lot of my chickens died, by the way. I don't know if I had a lot of chickens in the previous Rimworld Tour, but I had a lot of chickens, and they all died one winter. And because I try to keep my heater usage in the barn conservative, you know, I try to be conservative with this because they don't need warmth requirements as humans do. So I try to be conservative with it. But this one winter, you know, it got really fucking bad. I think it was a cold snap. I need to cut this tree down, it's blocking the way. But it was a cold snap, I think, and my chickens got hypothermia, and a lot of them died. A lot of them had heart attacks and shit. And yeah, that's why I have so much hay and stockpile right now. I think this is from previous Nah, this must be recent. None of my chickens died, which is making me kind of want to just kill the rest of them, because the eggs they produce not really that useful. So it's kind of making me want to just kill all of them and instead work on farming muffalos, because not only do they produce meat that you can feed your people with, but they also produce wool, and that really helps when you're making clothes and shit. Although I have a massive stockpile of wool, or whatever the fuck you call it, threads and shit. I'm also in a war with these people, the Collium League. You know, because fuck them, that's why. It also put me in good graces with these people, the Accord of Launder. So I'm in a war with Collium League right now, and I'm still not allied with the Launder people, but you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. I really hope the war system would be a lot better in this game. Maybe there's a mod or something, but I feel like warring with other factions is a little bit useless sometimes in this game. You know, not useless, but it feels lackluster. You know, I want there to be a better war system, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. You know, I don't. Oh, yo, they became friends. Warg Friendo and Chief became friends. That's cool. Yeah. Yep. For some reason he likes his Warg friend than the person who was there for him. You know, when his kid and wife died. So that's cool, Chief. You know. All right. Hope you have a great day. That's it. That's my Rimworld Tour. Goodbye.